Hey guys, welcome. Today we're going to be talking about some more Labocosmetica products, specifically their glass line of products. So we have four things we're going to be looking at today. Say it's Veritas, I think it's Veritas. This is an oil polish, wax, and fresh coating residue cleaner. So this is like a panel wipe product. Energo, which is an acid rain and mineral stain remover. Nitido, which is a high clarity glass cleaner. And Aquavelox, which is a glass coat. So specifically to apply Aquavelox, this is the end result, right? We need to clean the glass first. So clean and decontaminate the glass from limescale using our Energo with the aid of a clay bar. In the most severe cases, a polish for windows. In the event of a windscreen soiled with car wash wax residues, use Veritas. Spray Aquavelox evenly on the perfectly dry glass and spread it with a horizontal and vertical motions using a clean and dry micro suede cloth until the whole surface is covered. Complete the treatment using a dry microfiber cloth. The second layer, applied 20 minutes after the first, further enhances its effect. The product activates completely 8 hours after application. Validity time, 5 years. Production date, see on the package. So the first thing we need to do is set up our Energo. So Energo is a gel. This can be used 1-to-1 with a clay bar. So Energo can be used pure all the way to 1-to-5 dilution. We're going to use that pure on the clay bar. Veritas, which is the panel wipe product, says may be used pure or diluted up to 1-to-5. Pure product to eliminate old protection or to solve problems when applying the coating. 1-to-1 is a control during spot testing. Okay, so we're going to use this pure as well. All right, so we're going to take 250 ml of Veritas. We're going to put it into one of our Marilex sprayers because the Labocosmetica products, I don't have sprayers for them. We'll get this set up and screwed in. Start off, we're going to use Energo. That is our first step. As instructed, let me grab a clay bar here. I have this Adams clay bar. This came in my glove box. We're going to use this. And it is just the standard gray Adams clay bar. I believe that's a medium. So we'll just take a chunk of this off. We're basically going to be doing this on the Mini Cooper windshield as a good test. So we'll warm our clay bar up, flatten it out. We don't need a ton. Again, we're just doing a windshield. So let's bring this over here. And what I'm going to try to do is an A to B. I don't normally do A to Bs because then it leaves my car like half one way and half another. I don't know. It triggers me to have my car like half one way and half another. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're just going to clean this with normal glass cleaner because there is some stuff on it, some dust. So we can test out Nitido. I've got a standard edgeless microfiber cloth. And Nitido is their standard glass cleaner, which this portion of the video, or this particular video, got delayed because when I ordered all of my Labocosmetica products, I didn't get glass cleaner. I somehow missed that. So I had to order it from House of Rags. And I will say, if you want to try out some of these Labro products, check out the House of Rags. There will be a link in the description below. That will get you 10% off at the House of Rags. And it will give me a 10% kickback for referring you there, which is one of the ways that you can help to support the channel. These products were purchased by me. They were not given to me to test or anything like that. I bought them to do an honest review. So the glass cleaner worked really well. It's not quite as good as Traceless, but it's definitely one of the better glass cleaners out there. It did a better job than, I would say, like Stoner Invisible Glass. Like it left less streak and less, I had to go over things less often. So I do like the glass cleaner and it smells good. It's got a good scent to it, so that's kind of cool. So what we're gonna do is, we're just gonna do like a loose A, B. I'm not gonna put a tape line down the center or anything silly like that, but we're just gonna kind of go right to the middle. I'll do the passenger side. So this is like a gel, which is kind of interesting. So we'll just do a small area here. probably should have gloves on for this. I'm just thinking about that now. I don't really know exactly what this product contains, and I'm using it on my hands. I will say that like I'm not getting any sort of burning sensation or anything like that, but who knows? Maybe it'll give me cancer at some point. Never know. So if you're using this yourself, do so with gloves. Don't be dumb like me. There's a fair amount of pitting and stuff. I thought it might turn this a little bit darker than it did. So let me pop the lid on this and we'll clean that off. So it does say on the bottle to let this sit for up to 5 minutes. So I am going to just kind of hit it again while it is still wet. And then to remove it with a damp microfiber, we'll grab our same microfiber towel that we were using before, dry, and just go over it. And then we'll get another one, and a little bit of water, and we'll remove the rest. It does come off pretty well dry. All right, so I have another microfiber here. This is just a rag company Rip-N Rag with a, or no, it's an auto fiber roller rag. I don't know, it's one of those two. With water on it, just regular water. So get all of this off, and then we'll come dry it off. And you can see now I actually have gloves on, which is what I should have done in the first place. And then I'm just going to go over it with the panel wipe spray, just to kind of prepare ourselves for our coating. So like I said, this is undiluted as well. Okay. And there we are. We are going to apply this. So it says, spray evenly onto perfectly dry glass and spread it with horizontal and vertical movements using a clean and dry micro suede cloth. This is a Car Pro suede applicator, so we'll use one of these. So you just take this. I like these Car Pro blocks with the suede applicators. They actually work fairly well. And you could buy the suede applicators from eBay. You get like a 10-pack, or Amazon, you get like a 10-pack. Put a link in the description. But use this skin wedge tool to kind of tuck the suede into these openings. And obviously, I could have done it a little bit more evenly, but whatever. So take this, and we're going to spray it onto the dry glass. Spread it horizontally and vertically using micro suede until the whole surface is covered. So this has a little sprayer on it, and there's like a, okay, it like quarter turns. Good atomization. I did get some on the kind of adjoining surfaces. Maybe I should have sprayed it on here, but I'm trying to follow the directions as best I possibly can. So it does look like I maybe need a little bit more product. It kind of evaporated almost immediately. So it's possible that my suede applicator is sucking it all up. Okay, I'm just going to try one more. You can see how quickly it's flashing. It's pretty nuts. Now it's like 75, maybe 80 degrees. Pretty low humidity. We're probably like 50% humidity, something like that. It's October in California, and we don't really do humidity in California the way that a lot of other states do. You're growing up on the East Coast. So, yeah, seems to have done pretty well. So we've applied it, spread it with horizontal and vertical movements until the whole surface is covered. Complete the treatment using a dry microfiber cloth. The second layer applied 20 minutes after the first further enhances its effect. So I'm going to grab a dry microfiber cloth. This is a Rag Company Pearl. This is what I normally use for coatings because I just throw them out when I'm done. I don't know that I necessarily need to for this, but I like the fact that these are lint-free. I was getting a little bit of lint on that car wash towel. I am getting a fair amount of static, like I could feel static between my arm hairs and the windshield. So that's that. It is currently 4:44. So I'm gonna come back right around 5 o'clock and we will do the second coating. All right, so we are back 20 minutes later and we are going to reapply. All right, sorry, filled up my SD card. So we're just going to kind of discuss the products quickly, and then I'm going to wrap this video up tomorrow, but it'll be in a couple minutes, testing water sheeting and beading action of the coated side of the windshield compared to the non-coated side of the windshield and seeing how it performs. So we started off with Energo. Energo, the usage is kind of strange, right? Because you've got this gel in a bottle and that gel kind of comes out and you're using it with a clay bar, which a lot of us don't really use clay bars anymore. We use like the synthetic decontamination towels or the clay sponges or something along those lines. I used it with an old school clay bar. It did work well. There were some water spotting in the upper corner of the windshield. I was able to remove that fairly easily. I probably could have removed it with glass cleaner and a clay bar, just to be honest, but Energo is a product that it's basically like an acid rain mineral stain, so I would think of it more like a water spot remover, and they're using it with a clay bar, so they're giving you some sort of mechanical movement of, removing those water spots. Next we went to Veritas, and Veritas is a panel wipe product, and it does seem to contain there's some amount of lubricity to it. There's some amount of lubrication when you're using it. So it doesn't feel like, you've got just isopropyl alcohol in a spray bottle. It feels like there's actually some lubrication. So I think that's nice. It's got a nice feeling when you're wiping it off. It does come off cleanly. It doesn't leave any haze or anything like that. It's not hard to buff off. It flashes almost instantly. So I found that it worked very well. It's interesting that it can be diluted. I normally run panel wipes as full strength. Most of them like, CarPro Eraser or Geon Prep or Armor panel wipe, those all run full strength. So I ran this full strength as well because that's normally how I would do it. Obviously it comes in a 1 liter bottle. It doesn't have a spray bottle on it, but you could just put a spray handle on that bottle. It's a little big. It'd be a little awkward to use. So I would prefer to put it in a smaller bottle myself. I like 250s or 500s myself. Then we went on to Aquavelox. And Aquavelox, it's an interesting product. I mean, it's again, spray coating, not a dropper for a windshield coating. Typically you're using a dropper and you're putting it on your applicator. This you're spraying on. I did end up with some overspray kind of on the panel above, the side, and below. But I've got metal, gloss black trim, and matte black trim, or like a regular plastic, like unpainted plastic. And none of those had staining, so that's really good. It was easy to apply. It does feel like it flashes really, really fast, even though, like I said, we're like mid 70s here today and relatively low humidity, and I'm inside, not in direct sunlight. This is kind of like an optimal condition to apply a windshield coating or any sort of coating. But It went on well. I was able to buff it off easily. I didn't end up with any high spots or anything to deal with. You know, other things that I used as part of this is a CarPro applicator pad. These are suede CarPro applicators. They come in it's like a 3" by 3" square, and you just stick them in here. This is what they call a skin wedge tool. I'll put links to all of these in the description, but you use this to put that in. It works really well. I mean, you could use almost anything you want to, but this in particular, because it's got the rounded edges, works very well for that. I used an Adams clay bar because I happen to have it here. I think that, you know, any other normal clay bar would work just fine for claying the windshield off and removing decontamination. One of the things that was really surprising was Nitido. Nitido is a great glass cleaner. It worked very, very well. I haven't talked about Traceless yet, Built Hammer Traceless, which I do have 2 bottles of it, and it works incredibly well. I would say if it wasn't for Traceless, this would probably be one of my favorite glass cleaners. I mean, it still is a great glass cleaner. It worked really, really well. Traceless is just pretty amazing, but I would pick that up over Stoner Invisible Glass. I would pick that up over, you know, other glass cleaners, you know, the normal like ammonia-based glass cleaners like Windex, or I have P&S's glass cleaner over there. I have a couple others. I think that this worked really well. It's every bit as good as the Kushkemi Blue glass cleaner, which I also really, really liked. It flashes very quickly. It comes off very easily. You don't end up with like a really wet towel. So I think that you could use like one towel and do a whole car without having to like swap out towels and have like 1 or 2, you know, a regular and a dry. It's very clean, so I think that it's going to increase the tendency of a towel to lint if a towel is kind of a lint-prone towel. I saw that when I picked up the car wash, this green towel. It's a car wash towel from the Rag Company. These are not lint-free towels, but when I use like a regular, like a pearl or a glass towel, it doesn't do that at all. So I would just say as long as you have a lint-free towel, that's going to work great. And a lot of glass cleaners are that way, honestly. So I'm going to come back in a couple minutes, but it's going to be tomorrow, and we're going to be testing out this windshield and seeing how it performs. All right, so we are here the next day. This half has the sealant on it. That half does not. Just to be fair, I did use the Labocosmetica panel wipe to wipe that off, just to make sure that if there was any sort of, you know, drying aid or any sealant or something like that that might have gotten on it while I was washing the car under normal circumstances, that it would be off. So here's what we're gonna do. I have a Quasar bottle here. It's just got some water in it, just regular DI water, and we're gonna see how this works. So what we can see is we've got really good beading, nice tight small beads kind of all over the place, which is nice. It's what we like to see. That looks fairly good. On the opposite side, well, it's honestly fairly similar, except now these beads are a little bit larger, but honestly, I would say the beading is pretty similar side to side. Let's just be fair about it. Yeah, so I'm not seeing a major change between one and the other, honestly. The beads on that side are a lot larger, a lot more single like drops, where these are more like rounded balls, and when they drop off the windshield, they are leaving, you know, like a clean, dry spot where they were sitting. On this side, where we have the drops, when they're running down, you see that they leave like a trail of drops in their wake. So I would say when you're driving down the road, you're going to end up with a much clearer windshield on the side with the sealant than you are on this side, because, you know, these are leaving pieces of the drop behind as they roll off the car, where on this side over here, you can kind of see, and there are still some drops, but we've got like these large clear spaces where this water is running down the windshield. So you can kind of see the runs there. So as we have wind and it's going over the top of the windshield. Okay, so that's that side. Let's check out this side. All right, so I think that's the difference, really. You see all these small dots? this kind of explodes all over the windshield and leaves all of these little trails and dots and things around it. Where the other side that has the sealant, when I first hit it, it almost goes clear. And there are still some little pieces that are left behind, but the amount of water that has shed from the little bit of air versus the amount of water that is shed on that side is actually a pretty decent difference. So honestly, this might not be the best windshield coating that I've ever used. Obviously, it's a spray-on windshield or glass sealant. It's designed to be a sealant rather than a coating. So something that is more of a glass coating would probably be a little bit stronger. It's also going to be a lot more expensive of a product, and you're going to get less in the bottle. Something like this Armor Glass, which is a true ceramic coating. We might find that this actually repels water a little bit better. And maybe that's what we'll do. We'll put this on the driver's side. Why not? Because I have a bottle here. I haven't used it yet. Let's do that. We'll test it out, and that'll be a separate video for another day. But with the ease of application and the effect, the effect isn't enormous, but it also wasn't tremendously difficult to install. It's not tremendously expensive. So if you are picking up Labro's line, you want to try it out, maybe try it out, but I don't think it's the most impressive product I've tried. Labro's had a lot of things that were really good. This was just, it's fine. So anyway, thank you for watching. I hope that you're having a good day, and check back next time. I've got Clean and Detail Co. Those are going to be coming next. Those are new from the House of Rags, and then also we'll be testing the rest of the Labro line. I think I only have like 4 products left that I haven't tested.